Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Before we get started, I do have a statement from the Riley King Network that I would like to pass along. Good evening, everyone. You are going to see changes here at the Riley King Network. We are not going to deliver local news anymore. We will be doing big news coverage now. National news and international news coverage. Please, fans, do not do anything or leave the network. You will see great news coverage still from all of us here at the Riley King Network, but just national and local news, national news and international news, no local news, but just a new format of news for all of you. So let's begin with our new format of the news right here on the Riley King Network. Let's first begin with your election updates. If you have not heard the news that Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States, let's take a look at those numbers for you in the map as well. And here is a look at that big map for all of you. Right now, as you can see, Joe Biden passed the magic number of 270. Joe Biden has 279 votes. Donald Trump still at 214. And Joe Biden passed the magic number to win presidency, and Joe Biden will be the next president. Joe Biden won Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. He also won Colorado. He also won Nevada and this state here. Still no total in North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, or Alaska, but Joe Biden passed the magic number to become president, and he is the new president. All of us here at the Riley King Network would like to congratulate Joe Biden on winning the presidency. Joe Biden set to become next president. Election updates. ABC News projects Biden will win Nevada. ABC News to air primetime special on President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris at 8 p.m. Joe Biden set to become the next president. Americans take to the street to celebrate Biden's win. Trump says election is far from over. 4:20 p.m. update. Joe Biden is set to become the next president. ABC News can characterize Joe Biden as the apparent winner in Pennsylvania, a win that makes him president-elect. Based on these numbers and those in other states, Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. ABC News was able to characterize Biden as the apparent winner of Pennsylvania after the state, as of 11:35 a.m., put Biden ahead with 49.6% of 3,345,724 votes over Trump's 49.1%, 3,310 votes. Biden was at home with his family when he learned of the news. A Biden aide told ABC News Biden is expected to address the nation Saturday night. Biden said in a statement Saturday, "I'm honored and humbled by the trust of American people have placed me and in Vice President-elect Harris. In the face of unprecedented obstacles, a record number of Americans voted, proving once again that democracy beats deep in the heart of America. With the campaign over, it's time to put the anger and harsh rhetoric behind us and come together as a nation. It's time for America to unite and to heal. We are the United States of America, and there's nothing we can't do if we do it together. Saturday marks the 48 years to the day that Biden was elected in his first Senate race. Biden, then 29 years old, won his first Senate election on November 7th, 1972. For the first time in history, the first and second in line to the presidency will be a woman, Senator Kamala Harris as vice president, followed by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Harris tweeted a video showing her on the phone with Biden. "We did it, Joe," she said. "You're going to be the next president of the United States." Harris's husband, Doug Enoff, tweeted, "So proud of you." Harris spoke on the phone Saturday with former President Barack Obama, from Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The White House declined to comment on several news organizations projecting Biden as the apparent winner. Biden will become the 46th president on January 20th. Kamala Harris set to make history as first woman of color to be vice president. She was only the second black woman ever elected to the Senate. Kamala Harris, the groundbreaking senator from California, has made history again, set to become the first female vice president and woman of color in the White House. Harris, 56, the daughter of immigrants, is expected to win the contest for her second highest office after Joe Biden became the apparent winner in the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania, putting him over the threshold of 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. People pour onto the streets of D.C. after AP declares Joe Biden White House winner. Take a look at these images and photos here. Look at all these people on the streets of Washington, D.C. People have flooded the streets of Washington, D.C. after the Associated Press called the 2020 presidential race for former Vice President Joe Biden Saturday morning. Washington, D.C. voters cast their ballots overwhelmingly for Biden. According to D.C. Board of Election data, 291,744 ballots were counted for Tuesday's election, and 268,625 of those were for the former vice president. D.C. isn't the only place where people celebrated the end of the election. Just after the race was called, fireworks erupted in Atlanta. In Maine, a band playing at a farmer's market broke into the Battle of Hyman of the Republican. Traffic came to a standstill in some parts of Brooklyn as drivers stopped to get out to celebrate in the streets. Neighbors ran out of their homes in Manhattan and assembled into an unplanned street party, high-fiving strangers. In Louisville, Kentucky, people gathered on their lawns to toast with champagne. A woman driving by laid on her car horn, pumping her fist out the window. In Harlem, they danced in the streets, banged cowbells, and honked their cars and horns. American responds to projection that Joe Biden won the election. Let's take a listen to this video from CBS News.
I want to go back actually to Antoine C. right now. Antoine, you just heard Derek talking about the president's legal strategy. You just heard Derek talking about the president's legal strategy. You do see a large number of Trump supporters out there at Black Lives Matter Plaza. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about the Democrats' legal strategy. Do you have any sense, any guidance right now on how Democrats intend to respond to the president bringing these lawsuits?
Well, I think we have to frame this in context to this point between the DCCC, the DNC, and the DSCC, and all of the affiliate Democratic groups. We've been filing lawsuit after lawsuit just so that we can have free and fair access to the ballot box, because it's been the Republicans and Donald Trump trying to suppress the vote of, in particular, consequential communities, those that look like mine. So we've been playing this legal strategy game for some time now. I think the next step in our quote-unquote legal strategies to make sure we have our ducks in a row and are prepared for these delay tactics that will come from Donald Trump, the Republican Party, every step along the way. But I will say respectfully to my Republican friends who know what this democracy should be and know how it should work, we can't play this game because there will be life after Donald Trump. And the right to vote and our participation is the most sacred thing we have. And we know how elections go in this country. They've been trying to taint this election from the very beginning, but now we're here. And the numbers speak for themselves. And ultimately, what is delayed will never be denied, no matter how much of a legal strategy they include in order to delay the results of this election.
So, Antoine, let's talk about President-elect Biden's first 100 days. What should we realistically expect?
Oh, I think he's got to go to work right. He has to go to work right away to get some sort of stimulus package done to fuel this economy and to put hope back into the bloodstream of the American people. People are down and out. I mean, people have just lost hope in government, and that's a scary thought considering who we have always been as Americans. So I think that's going to be his first priority. And then dealing with things that we should have dealt with in a bipartisan way every step along the way, like infrastructure, and dealing with those challenges. And then the vice president made a number of commitments to the American people, particularly to the party that nominate him, about what he would do in his first 100 days, whether it's criminal justice reform, whether it's health care, whether it's education. I think he's going to have to deliver on those promises, because a commitment made should be a commitment kept. And that is who Joe Biden has always been, and I do not think he will run away from that. And then finally, he's going to have to put together a cabinet that looks like America, who understands the challenges of America, every single corner of America, not just the Democratic corner, not just the blue corner, but every corner of this country. Because people, regardless of your political party, that's what people are looking for from their government.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And let's take a look at this video from MSNBC. Steve Kornick explains how Biden won Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at that video right now.
Let's go back. back to Steve Kornacki. Steve, we saw that vote come in from Philadelphia, and a couple of seconds after you touched your magic board there, the election was called for Joseph Biden. What did you see there? What came in to put him over the top?
Yeah, well, it was those few thousand votes in Philadelphia. It put him over 30,000. And then actually, literally seconds after that, we had been teeing up Allegheny County, Pittsburgh. More vote came in from Allegheny County. So you actually see now Biden's lead grew further. 34,414. That's his statewide lead. Now, again, I think that's going to keep ticking up today. If you still want to follow this stuff, or you still want to follow the vote count, keep in mind, Trump's number in Pennsylvania in 2016, he won the state by 46,000. Maybe you want to see if Biden can exceed that before all is said and done. That certainly seems possible here. But yeah, it was everything we were talking about all morning, all night last night. It was just, there was long gaps between getting new votes, and a lot of time in between to say the pattern here is clear, the pattern here is clear, and every time we got a new vote, it just reaffirmed that was the pattern, and eventually I think there's an accumulation of small updates that just got to a point where it's, hey, this is now 34,000 votes, this is now rising. The idea that Trump is going to overturn this with provisional ballots that are, we can already see have quite a few Democrats in them that traditionally are extremely Democratic. The idea that Donald Trump is suddenly going to win 96% of that vote or something like that, it's just the implausibility, I think, just finally reached the critical threshold.
So, Steve, you've been at that board standing for nearly a week, interrupted, so we're going to let you go. But before we dismiss you, just give us one last snapshot of what else is out there in the country, what else we should be watching today. Joe Biden is the president-elect, but he could well add to that total today.
Sure, yes, absolutely. Look, the place that he's most likely immediately to add to that total would be Nevada. We've taken you through the situation there. Clark County, Nevada looks like the outstanding ballots favor Biden. He already leads in the state. If he gets Nevada, that'll move up to 279. In Arizona, he's trying to hang on. We've taken you through it. He's got a lead. It's dwindling. It does not seem like it's dwindling at a rate that would actually get Trump over the top there. So if Biden can hang on in Arizona, that would push him up to 290 in the Electoral College. There's Georgia. That's going to take some time. Biden's leading now. Certainly possible he could get Georgia if he wins that. That would put him up to 306. Alaska, again, I don't want to speak for the decision desk. I don't think he's getting Alaska. North Carolina, again, I don't think he's getting North Carolina. I could talk this way now, right? I don't think he's getting North Carolina.
Yes. Let it rip, Steve.
I think his ceiling here, and it's a plausible one, is 306. I think Biden could very plausibly land at 306 electoral votes, which, by the way, 306 was Donald Trump's number in 2016. Yep. So maybe there's some symmetry there, and Biden lands on that in 2020.
All right. Steve Kornacki, America has hung on your every word this week. We have hung on your every word this week.
Wonderful
you are the pillar
job.
of our network. You have carried our coverage. You deserve all the praise you're getting. And frankly, buddy, we love you. Great job. Thanks so much.
Well, that's really kind
Well
of you.
said,
Thank you.
Willie.
And let me just
Go
say,
get some rest.
as your agent, two things. You go get some rest,
Yeah.
and I'm going to make Phil pay more
Know
for
your value.
Steve Kornacki. Know your value, my friend.
Yes.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for joining us for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoy this new change here at the Riley King Network. No more local news. It is going to be national news and international news coverage starting now at the Riley King Network. Hopefully you enjoy this change. Stay with the Riley King Network for all the latest of your national and international news. Big news coverage we're going to be bringing you now on at the Riley King Network. Good night and goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful Saturday evening. And don't forget to join me at... Let me show you. Don't forget to join me tonight at 8 p.m. for a special broadcast right here on the Riley King Network. Good night and goodbye, everyone.